Greetings, everyone. Happy New Year. It is the first day of 2023. And as promised, I'm going to be doing a daily reading from my book, Embracing Destiny, to help you to push past fear and walk in your greatness and help you to see the manifestation of whatever promises God has made to you in your life, and trust that in 2023, you'll walk in them. So I already read the introduction, and now I'm going to read Pep Talk 1, or what we would call Chapter 1, and it's 21 pep talks. So if you find these pep talks useful, I'm going to ask you to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you like this book, and you're interested in my other books, I invite you to join my library, where you will access over 15 of my books plus 2 of my signature courses for authors. And these books are about personal development, personal growth, and they are inspirational books to help you to transform your life, give you strategies to win despite the odds, and also to help you to write and flourish as a nonfiction author. So let's get into it. Courage like Caleb's. Remember, the series is based on the biblical character Caleb, who at 85 years old still went after his dream. But I leave all of that details for the reading. And you can access the book. You can use your phone when you join my library, just like I'm doing now, and you'll be able to read on any device. All right, let's go. Pep Talk 1, Courage Like Caleb's. Imagine being strong enough at age 85 to slay 3 groups of powerful giants and fight a war. Stop imagining and meet Caleb. Each time I read about him, I get extremely excited. I'm impressed with Caleb, who is the inspiration behind the Fearless 40 series. He is a fitting example of one who embraced his destiny and walked into his greatness. The name Caleb means dog or faithful. One could say Caleb had a fierce dog-like attitude. Dogs are known to be fierce, faithful animals, as well as man's best friend. They are loyal to their masters, and they don't readily back away from danger. Similarly, Caleb was faithful to God, his master, and fearless in the face of danger. Caleb, son of Jephunneh, first comes to our attention in the book of Numbers, chapter 13, as one of 12 spies. That is one of the 12 leaders of the tribes of Israel who went to spy out the promised land. The promised land was territory that God had promised to the descendants of Israel. However, an entire generation of the first set of people who should have possessed it forfeited their inheritance because of fear and discouragement. Only 2 people from that generation entered the promised land, one of whom was Caleb and the other Joshua. 45 years later, we see Caleb still taking steps to walk in his destiny. After 45 years, Caleb went to the nation's new leader, Joshua, to claim his inheritance, his promised land, and he got it. This is the account of what happened. When Caleb went to Joshua, he said, "Remember what the Lord said to Moses, the man of God, about you and me when we were at Kadesh Barnea. I was 40 years old when Moses, the servant of the Lord, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to explore the land of Canaan. I returned and gave an honest report, but my brothers who went with me frightened the people from entering the promised land. For my part, I wholeheartedly followed the Lord." Now, there is just so much in that. Let's continue reading. Embracing destiny is about possessing your inheritance and slaying the personal giants that try to prevent you from walking into your destiny. In sharing Caleb's story, I want to inspire you to slay your fears and walk into your divine destiny. In this 4th innings of my life, I am seeking to adopt the spirit of Caleb in the face of tremendous opposition. In preparing this book for publication in 2020, the world went into a great hysteria, panic, and fear over the COVID-19 novel coronavirus, which infected people from almost every country on the face of the earth. The virus claimed thousands of lives, and I'm sure there's going to be an economic fallout. Remember, this was written in 2020. In preparing this book for publication, entire countries and cities were declared disaster areas and were on lockdown. But I am determined to live fearlessly like Caleb in the midst of COVID-19. I tell myself, fear not, be like Caleb, trust in God, and walk in your divine destiny. And I pause here. The truth is, I wasn't scared in COVID. I was kind of frustrated. I remember one Sunday, because they kept in Jamaica, kept locking us down on a Sunday. And I was like, can't they have lockdowns on other days? And I was getting really frustrated that I couldn't go to church on Sunday. And in spite of the fact that I enjoy digital communication and online communication. So I wasn't fearful, but I was frustrated because of the inability to move as much as I wanted to and go to church on Sundays. Anyway, back to the reading. Onwards then, let's learn to rise and conquer. Let's slay our giants and enter our promised land. And if you have the book, it's on Amazon $4.99, and you're reading, I've included a larger account of how Caleb got his promised land. And since this is alive and we have some time, let me read it. So this is found in Joshua 14 and 15. A delegation from the tribe of Judah, led by Caleb, son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite, came to Joshua at Gilgal. Caleb said to Joshua, remember what the Lord said to Moses, the man of God, about you and me when we were at Kadesh Barnea. I was 40 years old when Moses, the servant of the Lord, sent me to Kadesh Barnea to explore the land of Canaan. I get a feeling I'm reading too fast, right? But I returned and gave an honest report. But my brothers who went with me frightened the people from entering the promised land. For my part, I wholeheartedly followed the Lord my God. So that day Moses solemnly promised me, the land of Canaan on which you were just walking will be your grant of land and that of your descendants forever, because you wholeheartedly followed the Lord my God. The question is, this is not in the reading. What does God have in store for those who wholeheartedly follow him? Don't let the enemy trick you and make you think that it doesn't pay to serve God. Because Caleb believed God. Look at what he was promised. Now let's get back to the reading. Now, as you can see, this is Caleb speaking. The Lord has kept me alive and well as he promised for all these 45 years. So because people discouraged the Israelite community, this man who believed had to wait 45 years. That says something to me. Could it be that you are not walking into what is rightfully yours because of somebody else's disobedience? Could be, because that's what happened to Caleb, and he had to wait 45 years to get it. And throughout the pep talks, I'm going to be talking about that. And pep talk 2 is going to be about dealing with delay. But let's pick up. Caleb said, today I'm 85 years old. I am as strong now as I was when Moses sent me on that journey. And I can still travel and fight as well as I could then. Wow, at 85. Caleb is phenomenal. And then he said to Joshua, so give me the hill country that the Lord promised me. You will remember that as scouts we found the descendants of Anak living there in great walled towns. But if the Lord is with me, I will drive them out of the land just as the Lord said. Wow. What faith. So it's not that there wasn't opposition. Still, the giants were there. But Caleb said, if the Lord is with me, I will drive them out, just as the Lord said. So very often God is going to call you and me, into circumstances that are beyond us. And if we are sure, like Caleb, that God has called us and has promised us, we have to trust God and believe that if the Lord is with you, you can conquer the opposition. So Joshua blessed Caleb, son of Jephunneh, and gave Hebron to him as his portion of land. Hebron still belongs to the descendants of Caleb, son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, because he wholeheartedly followed the Lord, the God of Israel. Wow. Previously, Hebron had been called Kiriath Arba. It had been named after Arba, the great hero of the descendants of Anak. And the land rested from war. Questions. What insights did you gain about embracing destiny from reading Caleb's story? What did you learn about the dangers of fear, and how has Caleb's story inspired you? And as I get into the other talks, you're going to hear more and more how Caleb's story has inspired me. And I remind you, if you didn't watch episode 1 or the introduction to the series, that this series was part of my 40th birthday celebration, my Fearless 40 box set. I was determined that I would enter my promised land in my 40s and not to let fear get in the way anymore. And so reading Caleb and other characters in scripture really inspired me. Another book in the series is Fearless 40, Getting Older, Slaying Fears and Soaring to New Heights as You Get Older. Another book in the series is Designed to Win, Roadmap 2, How to Dream Again and Succeed as You Get Older. And I recognize now, in looking back at my readings, these books, what I was writing was in part therapeutic. It was therapeutic. And also, I believe God was encouraging my heart to believe in him no matter what, and not let doubt get in the way. And so I believe my pen is often prophetic. And so I go back to the reading, and in this new year, I am believing that what God has promised me will come to pass. And I am reading these to encourage myself. And I know how pep talks can help, how pep talks and motivational talks can change lives. People talk about, I'm not about motivation, I'm about inspiration. Well, whether it's motivation or inspiration, listening to others, encourage people, and pep talks like this have changed my life. And the Bible says to us, especially those who are Christians, that we need to encourage one another daily. So I'm taking the challenge of encouraging you daily as I encourage myself by offering readings from my book, Embracing Destiny, for 21 days. And I'll be doing more pep talks throughout the year because I have several books like that. There is When Trees Talk, that's 31 tree talks to help to shift your mind and help you to become successful. I have Keys to Win, that's 100 life strategies to handle problems successfully. I have Shaped for Purpose, which has to do with your life experiences and how God has been using those to shape you for purpose. So there are quite a few books like this that I have. And as I said, if you want more of those books, then you can join my library. I'm going to show you the book just now at a very low price. It's for $4.99, the ebook. Towards the end of this month or into February, I'm going to turn it into a print book. But there it is, $4.99 only, Embracing Destiny. And so if you want to read ahead, you can do that. I'm also going to be producing the audiobook for this. And at the end of the challenge, I am going to release that. So I wish for you to have courage like Caleb. And remember, in 2023, attempt great things for God and expect great things from God, as William Carey says. And embrace your destiny. Walk in your greatness. Stop for now until